Hello and welcome to this week's In Conversation. My name is Phil Jackman and I lead on CyberNorth, Dynamo Northeast Cyber Cluster. We're working hard with all our colleagues to make the Northeast a great place to deliver cybersecurity services. Today, I'm joined by James Clements, Security Manager at Accenture. How are you, James?
I'm very well indeed, Phil. How are you?
And where are we talking to you from today?
We're talking to me from my house in Lincolnshire.
Because you used to live in Whitley Bay, is my understanding, yeah?
I had a flat down in Whitley very briefly, but the economics of it weren't too great because I spent a lot of time on the road. So I've got my house in Lincolnshire, which is my home base, has been for the last 4 years. But when I'm on a visit in the north now, it's cheaper for me to stay in a cheap hotel up in Whitley Bay.
Okay, excellent. So can we start then by you telling us a bit about yourself and your role within Accenture?
So I'm James. I'm the security manager for Accenture in the Northeast. So everything we hold dear in the Northeast is under my remit. We've got a security team that works. We've got two security teams that work for us in Newcastle. One doing the internal audit side, governance of Accenture in the Northeast. And we've also got a technical delivery team as well, who are working with clients from the client side, delivering stuff, and that's why I fit as well.
Excellent. So Accenture is a global business, isn't it? I think you've got about 1,000 people at the Cobalt Park site.
I believe we're that cable at present. We are a global business. I've worked in Hong Kong for Accenture as well, so I spent 10 days over there working with the Hong Kong Rugby Football Union, who are who Accenture are a major sponsor of over there. Fortunately, I know the CEO of the rugby union there, so it made sense. But yeah, there's global opportunities with us. We do have a global careers program as well. So if people are interested in traveling, those options are open.
So how's the company been operating during lockdown?
We went into lockdown quite early, probably about 2 weeks before or at least the intention was there, at least 2 weeks before the government enforced lockdown came on March 23rd. We were actively encouraged to work from home and do home working, and we stopped client visits to our sites and unnecessary travel as well. So we've actually found it quite good. Accenture in terms of doing that, we're probably a bit ahead of the curve. But despite all the foibles and restrictions and potential difficulties of being in lockdown, Accenture delivered some amazing projects, particularly around NHS Digital as well, which have been seen remarkable turnarounds. We've had positive feedback from the client on those changes as well.
I know you can't talk about specific contracts because of commercial confidentiality, but I understand you managed to achieve some amazing things, particularly in the public sector, with people working remotely.
Yes, we have. One of the biggest things that's in the public domain, so we can mention it, is that we're supporting NHS on their perimeter security, as well as running the NHS mail program as well. We've moved the NHS 2 teams, and that was done over a weekend, and it's delivered, as I just mentioned, delivered instant results, instant satisfaction. Experts who are self-confining as well, self-isolating due to fears over COVID, have been able to actually pass the knowledge on to teams around the country using that facility. So
we've talked about how you used to live in Whitley Bay and now down in where you are now, and so have things really changed for you, or is business model?
No, it's just a matter of financial expediency more than anything else for me. I'm still going to continue to work in the Northeast. There is huge potential up there. You think about it, we've probably got 4 or 5 universities within the catchment area who are, there's a Russell Group in Durham. You've got good universities, good cyber programs. There's a huge potential up there to keep things in the Northeast as well. We're looking at driving work towards Newcastle away from London, and there's a huge X factor there in the Northeast, in that there is a huge potential market there. So in terms of future work for the Northeast, the future is quite bright.
Excellent. So you said how Accenture was one of the first companies to go into lockdown. I think it actually started long before lockdown was actually agreed.
Yeah.
So what do you think in terms of how the preparation's going for coming out of this? Do you know?
Preparations are always going to be awkward for this. One, there's all sorts of scientific advice that has to be adhered to in the long run, and also we have to look at individuals within the workforce as well. Some may not be so happy coming back to work as early as possible. Some probably can't wait to get back to work. Individuals may have certain circumstances around them, such as having vulnerable family members who it's not really practical for them to come back to work on a regulated scale. So there may be a bit of return to work, return to the office, but certainly the impacts we're seeing and that we've been able to deliver projects across a broad range of industries whilst in lockdown has given life to theories of maybe more people work from home on a regular basis, freeing up pressure on the car parking that's available, freeing up pressure, which in turn will free up pressure on logistics around the country or transport networks. All that goodness that will come from that.
Yeah, you're right there. I could never get a parking space at Cobalt, so that's a good, could be a good improvement. So what kind of issues are your customers facing, particularly in terms of cybersecurity today? Are there any common issues that you
It's no surprise that nefarious actors or unwanted actors are taking advantage of the situation at the moment. We've seen an increase in phishing emails, attempted ransomware attacks. The usual Bitcoin emails are floating around like they're going out of fashion at the moment. We're seeing the usual 419 scam letters at the moment. It tends to be a bit more complicated, but they're all masking themselves under the mask of COVID and trying to exploit people and obtain their financial information is probably the biggest one. And this is not just an IT threat; it's also a physical face-to-face threat. Certainly, in certain parts of London, we're seeing people being scammed on the doorstep by people posting as NHS workers. So there's a serious problem out there with this. Current advice is if you do receive an email, report it to Action Fraud, and they may be able to take action and trace it all down. But the key message here is be aware. Don't click on those links if you don't know who's sending that email to you.
No, unfortunately, cybersecurity never seems to sleep, does it? But, okay, so what's your focus, your personal focus right now as we speak?
My personal focus right now is looking at incident management as I'm about to take a role on doing that. So I'm getting myself back up to speed in that area. Recently, I've been working on scoping pen tests for various government agencies. So that's been, as you say, cybersecurity never sleeps. We still got stuff to do. There's contractual deliverables we have to we have to deliver on as well. My last role with one of the largest government agencies, other than the NHS, has seen quite a large scope and large change of that, and certainly concerns around PII and GDPR compliance and DPA compliance are still at the forefront of people's minds, and motivated for people to get their cybersecurity right.
Okay, that's excellent. And my last question for you in this conversation is, okay, what's the first thing you're going to do when lockdown is relieved?
First thing I'm going to do when lockdown goes, I'm going to go to the local pub and have a fresh pint of beer.
Yeah, I think there's going to be quite a long queue there, James. But there you go. Well, thanks very much for that, James. Yeah, I'd also like
thank you very much, Phil.
It's a pleasure. I'd also like to thank Robert Campbell from Econmet, who's helped me out in setting these conversations up. We're hoping to run these weekly. I've got quite a list of people who want to talk about throughout the summer. So look out for the next one in our series. And if you're interested in taking part, please let me know. Thanks, James.
Cheers, Phil. No problem at all. Thank you, Robert.